bring the October 5th, 2023 meeting to order. Salute to the flag. After the flag, remain standing for a moment of silence for Mr. Johnny Pins Vanucci, who was an employee of the Bristol Borough School District. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Cullen.
Mr. Cullen is excused.
Ms. Curran.
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Here.
Mr. Poliassico.
Here.
Mr. Parolo.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Stiltner.
Here.
Ms. Paglione. Here. And Mr. Ciccoletti.
Here. Mr. Solicitor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. An executive session started tonight at 6:30. Personnel and informational items were discussed at the executive session. Those present included all board members present here, Dr. Davis, Mr. McHugh, and myself, and the meeting concluded just before this board meeting started. That's my report.
Thank you. Mr. Trulove, approve the complete agenda.
I motion we approve the agenda.
Do I have a second? Mrs. Paglione, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Superintendent's report.
Yes, Mr. President. The Bucks County administrators are scheduled to meet with the Secretary of Education on October 11, 2023 at the Bucks County IU. We are currently in the process of developing a district-wide special education task force. Dr. Smith and Mrs. Albright, that's our two psychologists, will co-chair this committee. More details will be forthcoming in the near future. With the support of the high school administration, 2 students, we're going back old school, were selected to serve as student board delegates for the 23-24 school year. They are scheduled to be at our next school board meeting on October 19, 2023. That's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mrs. Simikowski is excused. Mr. Nastasi?
Yes, a couple things. Bucks County High School will be presenting to our 8th grade, 10-16. They do a presentation for our 8th grade to present what they have to offer for approximately 14 to 16 8th graders for a following school year. Our PSAT testing will take place on 10-12. All 10th and 11th graders will be tested. 9th and 12th graders will be asynchronous that day. Our homecoming dance will take place on 10-14. Our theme is Philly, and our homecoming football game will take place that Friday, 10-13. Our MDS class will visit Shady Brook Farm on 10-11. Our 8th grade team held a parent-student cookout to meet all 8th grade teachers last week. We probably had 50 8th grade parents last week at a community picnic we held with our 8th grade team. It was a wonderful event. We had the lights on in the football field. The parents, teachers, and kids were playing kickball together, and it was a really, really fun and creative event we held. Our middle school entrepreneur class, which is taught by our Bucks County Community College teachers, started this week. We have 20 8th graders that were chosen. They will be presenting projects towards the end of the semester. Last week we held our middle school music concert with Dr. Downey last week. We had great feedback from all parties. We had 4 or 5 musicians play. It really caught the attention of our middle school. We're really hoping to vamp up the interest of students, more students that we have in the middle school to play more instruments. And last but not least, there is no school on Monday because of Columbus Day. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mrs.
I just have one quick question. So
Yes.
that entrepreneurial class, do they come to the school, or do our kids go to the college?
No, the teachers come to the school every Thursday, last period, for 45 minutes. It's a really good class, and they're talking about different ideas. There's going to be a few field trips on Mill Street for the kids. So, and then they're going to create their own business kind of plans and
Good.
present. It's pretty good.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, comprehensive plan and special education plan, we just have to mention that.
Correct.
Okay, and we did. Public participation, no one is here from the public, so let's go into personnel.
Okay. Item A, Mr. President, motion that we accept the resignation of Roberta Simikowski, elementary assistant principal, effective January 2nd, 2024.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Item B, motion to accept the resignation of Caitlin Zecca, district nurse assistant, effective October 13th, 2023.
Second.
Mrs. Paglione? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item C,
Mr. President, I motion to approve to advertise for a part-time nurse, 4 hours per day, current PA license required, $30 an hour, no benefits, effective the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
okay, just a quick note on this. This is the position that the motion previous to this, with Mrs. Zika resigning, is the nurse at the St. Mark's School. And according to Mr. McHugh, this is the nurse that is from the Esser's grant with money that is guaranteed until July, am I correct?
September of next year.
September
That
of next
expires.
year.
Yep.
So to have a part-time nurse there. So with the resignation, we are now asking anyone in the public if they would be interested in filling that position until September. And then the board has to look at in our budget if, we want to continue with providing, that service to the parochial school, which we are obligated to do. But rather than force our high school nurse or our elementary nurse to have to go there and then leave our building. So we have to address that, at budget time. So we'll keep that,
I have a quick question.
yes.
Why do we have it for 4 days and not 5 days?
4 hours per day,
Oh, it's 4 hours?
4 hours.
yes. Part-time, yes.
That's 16 hours.
It's 16 hours.
No, that's fine. That's what I looked at it wrong.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then, Dave, so what hours during the day, because I mean, St. Mark's is in from what, 7 to 2?
2.
So,
I'm not sure.
Just curious. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but before the COVID and the Esser's money, our nurse would go there, I guess what?
Almost on call for like 2, 3.
On
She
call.
would spend 2 hours a day and then be on call.
She
in
would
the event of
spend,
emergency.
yeah, in case an emergency, a child would fall down and get cut, then she would have to leave the school, our school, and go there. So when the Esser's money came in, we said, well, with the COVID, their children, they live in town too. Let's just put a nurse there full-time.
Okay.
So we have to address that at budget time,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
keep in mind then that, do we want our nurses leaving our building to go there? We are obligated to service them.
thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have to vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Item D.
Motion approved to hire Nicole Rowan as district substitute nurse at a rate of $30 per hour, no benefits, effective immediately.
Thank you.
Mrs. Paglione, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries.
Okay.
Next
and
item.
finally, item E. Mr. President, I motion to approve to increase the substitute teacher rate to $150 per day, no benefits.
Second.
Any questions? This is a rate increase to keep up with the other districts raising their rates so that we could have substitutes. And Dr. Davis, I believe we talked about this.
Yes.
Thoroughly about increasing the rate, but we also have a unique system where we do hire individuals to come to work every day.
180 days.
Right, so keep us posted on if this is working, and if not, then we're going to have to, go back to the old system where you come to work every
Every
day.
day.
Okay. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion carries. Information and discussion. Next board meeting will be October 19th, 2023. Let's go around the horn. Mr. Smith?
I'd like to thank Principal Nastasi for your update. Thank you very much. Dr. Davis, thank you for yours as well. I'd like to say I keep hearing great things in the community about how everyone's upbeat and how everything's going really smooth here at the grade school. And I think that's a great thing, and let everybody know. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Ms. Curran?
I just want to actually wish the football team a good luck on their homecoming game, and that all the students that attend the homecoming dance to have fun and be safe. And that is it.
I do have a question about the football. I believe it was last Thursday. Was there a game last Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Why, isn't it
Yeah, I
usually
did.
Friday?
Yeah, it was because of busing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it.
It was on TV.
Yeah.
What channel?
That link, it's on the Bristol Borough Communications page, Facebook.
Oh, okay.
We put a link out for all middle school sports, any events inside, any events outside, any events we have, there's a link for everything now.
Cool. For basketball and all, right?
Everything, any event we have, there's
And
links.
if we can down the road, they might put them in the ball field, if we can work with the borough.
Baseball field.
Yeah, so they can watch there.
That's where they
but
should be.
Yeah,
Mr.
they
Brolo?
got a good softball
I
program.
just want to thank Nick, between Nick and Pops, man, they were probably the two best hires that I've been a part of. They are, they're really good, they know what they're doing. So, that's all I really got to say.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Brolo. Mrs. Pagliano?
Just want to thank Nick Nastasi and Dr. Frodis Davis for their thorough reports.
That's it. Mr. Poliafco?
Yeah, thank Nick for his updates and everything else he does after school and before school and everything else. Dr. Davis, same thing. Thank you for all your extras that you give us. And Mr. Trullo, thank you for your work in these couple difficult situations here. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Chris and Jen.
Thank you.
Mr. Stoltman?
Just an announcement, Mr. Daniel DeLuca mentioned next, I think it's the 12th, they're having a performing arts family meeting at 5:30 at the high school. If you're interested in learning about the drama club and so forth, come on out and visit and hear what they have to offer for the students. That's it.
Dr. Davis?
Yes, although the board and administration, we are dealing with some difficult issues, but we are dealing with them head on. And in doing so, we're continuing to upgrade and continue to move forward with academics, athletics, in the right direction.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Mr. Trullo?
Yes, just thanking the board and the administration for your supporting our office and all the work we're doing with this district. It's a collaborative effort on every level, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say something great about both the Eagles and the Phillies tonight. So.
Yeah.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yeah, I just wanted to, in talking about our school nurse, I just want to throw it out there. I think that, you know, we're going to have to limp along this year. We've lost on, but I would hope next year that we could maybe think about putting a full-time nurse in. That might solve the problem, because when we hire a part-time, they get a better offer, and you can't blame them. And my thinking is now that, you know, we're covering and, you know, just with the emphasis on health and hygiene and all these things that really need to be kind of embedded into our schools for our kids, that it's probably time now that we think about maybe thinking about that next budget year to get it in. And I did want to say, I popped my head in for the band thing. That was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Mr. Downey. When's the drum corps? Are they getting ready to come? you
Yeah.
know? Are they?
They perform now at every home game. just about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, maybe you can, I don't know what the exact stats are, but Kendall Cottrell.
He had 422 yards rushing and a school record 8 touchdowns.
So we just had last week, and he's actually on a national database now because, and if you look nationally, you know, you would think that somebody that had 442 yards and 8 touchdowns, like there was nobody near him, but there was a lot of kids on that list that had
Yeah.
390, 400, but it really was. I was there. That young man put on a great performance, and the thing people don't realize is that at half, with 9 minutes to go in the first half, the mercy rule was, so when they came out in the second half, the clock was running.
Yeah.
And so he was still able to add on to his record performance. So that was another great Bristol, he walked into Bristol sports history last week.
Yeah.
And thank you. That's it.
Okay, I just have a comment here. The midget football programs, the coaches and Mr. Aaron Antonelli approached me about, would it be possible to light up behind the high school field there? And I said that, that would take a little bit of time to do that because we would have to run electric. And it was suggested that they were going to ask the borough if the lights along the walking path there, if they could put a light, so the pole would have a light on each side that would light up the field so that the midget football program could practice there. And I said, well, that's fine, So they spoke to the borough, and the borough said, yes, we will purchase the lights. And I said, well, we have an electrician, Dennis would, help install them. So Mr. Dillon told me that the lights will be in tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. And then Monday's a holiday for the borough and for us. And I spoke with Dennis and Mr. Gatto. So sometime next week, we'll be able to see, how that's working. But they did ask me also, would we consider next year running some electric in the back, maybe 1 or 2 poles, so that they could practice back there. And I said, we would look into that. And in my conversation, with Mr. Antonelli and Pops, the borough now is opening up the ball fields so that teams could practice there. So there's just so many teams that we're getting complaints that there's not enough practice facilities, which in my mind is a good thing because, that means more people are participating. So it's not going to cost us anything. The borough bought the lights, it's their electricity, and hopefully it'll light up some of that field that they could continue to practice back there because they're going to be practicing back there probably until the middle or late of November. And when we change the clocks, they won't be able to, really practice there.
Dave, when you say the lights in the beginning, the ones that are on the path onto the football field, what was the other set you were talking about?
Well, there's if my memory is correct, it's a light stand about 10 feet high, and the light comes down onto the path. So is what the new lights are going to be. One will shine down, and the one above it will shine onto the football field.
And was there another set that you said?
Well, if this doesn't provide enough light, is what we could do. We have electric in our barn. We could run a line from the barn. We'd have to trench it about 50 feet. We could put up a pole and put up a spotlight so then you could, because what's happening right now where they're practicing, our football team is practicing in the same spot. And it happens to be that that's where the most light is from our barn. So it's making it kind of get tore up there.
Right.
So if we could move down a little bit and light that up, the other area is not, it's plentiful with grass. And, they had a night game. Those little individuals, the little midget football program did have one night game, and they're going to have another one. And me and Mr. Parolo volunteered to announce that game. Our problem is that we have to go up through the bathroom through a small hole. I don't know if we both will fit through that. So once we figure that out, we're going to, so any other volunteers, for that night, and we're just trying to.
When is it?
We're not sure what their schedule is, but, you know, they've been asking, you know, it'd be nice to, you know, announce a game, and we'll oblige them like that, you
I'll come
know.
over.
Well, the other thing is, if you tell them, they can get the link and they can put that game on TV. too.
Yeah, you could do that, yeah.
Easy.
Mr.
We
Chicoletti?
may need your help with pushing me and Mr. Furlong through that small.
I'm gonna already be up there, I'm locking.
Just tell a story, Dave. In Jersey, I don't know if you want to check with the borough, or you guys want to check on this, but they have solar lights that you don't need electricity.
Yeah,
So maybe
that's
But
something, yeah, we could look
the
into.
borough could invest in it. It's just
Yeah.
something that maybe you want to, and you won't need an electrician, so
Yeah, it's a good
something
idea.
to think of.
Yep, yep.
If you want to let the borough know.
Yep, we'll look into, let's, hopefully these light up. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second?